Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Thanks again to everybody who voted on the Monday video to comment, to like, and just confirm for me that the audio is working. In case you missed Monday's video, I'm using a different recording solution because OBS kept eating episodes. Thanks, OBS. I'm using NVIDIA's Shadowplay. Now, if you have an NVIDIA card, you can use it yourself. It's very simple. It makes really big files. That's my only complaint about NVIDIA, is that the files are size is gigantic. No, I don't really care, but it is something to be aware of if you yourself are considering starting your own YouTube channel. So, in our previous episode, we had the off-season for the Pirates. Let's talk about what we did. One of the first things that we did was we found ourselves a new third baseman. We acquired ourselves one Orlando Palacios because Mike Soto was not getting the job done, as you recall. If we go to the... I picked the wrong log. Let's go to the major transactions log. Poor Rick Alamo. He has such an awesome name, but alas. So let's go back to the offseason, because it's been a while for me, too. Like, I don't even remember what I did for the most part. There's September, here's October, and here's where we start making deals. So, we signed people right there. So, the first trade that we made was we opted out on Henry Salgado, and we, traded Salrado for a couple of people. One person specific. This is about getting rid of Rada, though. This is about getting rid of a player who we weren't going to keep anyway. We extended Tinch, and as predicted, Henry Salgado rejected the qualifying offer. So far, so good. I then traded Mario Servin in order to get Rick Alamo, because when you can get a guy named Rick Alamo, you have to. But we quickly realized that the best free agent outfielder was, in fact, Henry Salgado. So we ended up bringing him back on a new deal. Now, this new deal is quite simple. We get him for 3 years at $34 million, possibly a fourth. And he got himself a no-trade clause, probably for being 10-5. 10 years in the majors, 5 years with the same team. This is just one of those things where we weren't going to get anybody better than him, and so we ended up bringing him back. But this was our big trade. We needed a new third baseman so we could get rid of Mike Soto. My original plan was to put Mike Soto in at first base and then trade was just to move Mike Soto over to first base. That was my original plan. So I want to get a really good third baseman, and that's exactly what we got. We paid a princely sum for this. Jai Woodward could be an amazing pitcher one day. Martin Rubio is already a reasonably good reliever. And, of course, Hugo Arevalo was our previous third baseman. But what did we get in return? We got a good contact, good home run guy who's a fantastic third baseman. I think we won this trade already, and I'm really excited to see what we can get out of him with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So that was the big move, so to speak. We made some minor trades here and there just to get rid of people. Then we got Tony Pagan re-signed, which was... I was worried about this for quite a while, but it has this player opt-out that the Hill deal didn't have. So, I'm pretty happy about this deal. I think he's going to do great things for us. Took a couple of guys in the Rule 5. I got a new relief pitcher in Felix Castaneda, who I immediately returned, by the way. But we also got Dion Giosco to be a backup catcher to replace Servine, since we traded him. Now let's jump to January. We acquired Jesus Espinosa to be a relief pitcher, and that's when I decided that I'd have to release somebody else. Inviting people to spring training. Spring training completed. We traded Rick Alamo because I didn't have a roster spot for him. And that's where we are right now. Now, what happened to Mike Soto, I hear you asking? I honestly don't remember. Let's find out. I thought I traded him after I traded Palacios. Maybe I traded him beforehand. Oh, we traded him for Sean Thompson. That may not work out, but this is mostly about getting rid of him. I do think Houston's going to struggle with him at third base. And let's be real here. He was a millstone last season. Like a genuine millstone. He made the team worse. And that's never a great sign. Maybe it just took him too long to get regular reps in the majors, but I don't think he was ever going to be anything special. Here's our opening day rotation. We have Sinclair and Love leading it up. Avishon, we're hoping, can get a full season. He hasn't yet, but maybe this will be the season. Alex Hilliard, who arguably was one of our best players last season. I do think his future is going to be, once I get more starting pitching help, I do genuinely think his future is more likely to be big-time reliever and occasional home run hitter. For now, I'm happy. I'm not going to drive it into the ground yet, but his days as starting pitcher are somewhat numbered. Just because he's already 30, and I am concerned about his lack of a really good third pitch. I mean, his first two pitches are pretty solid, so I'm not that annoyed by it, but again, it's a thing to be concerned about. And lastly, Orlando Salgado. One moment. That was a big sneeze. Mr. Salgado is getting his audition in the major leagues. We've pushed him actually pretty quickly. He only has limited time, and he had basically no time in the high minors. So why are we using him? Well, for one thing, he's a pretty talented young pitcher. And while I don't think he'll be anything truly special, like I don't see ace in his future, what I do see is a very reliable starting pitcher who's got a nice mix of pitches, which means it'll be difficult for teams to clue in on anything, and he should hopefully keep the ball in the ballpark. And these are all very helpful things to have in a starting pitcher. But don't rest assured, we have other options. We're just letting the other options improve a bit. The bullpen is mostly the same as years past. We did add Sean Thompson as kind of a big-time reliever / starter if we need him. He's who we acquired in the Mike Soto trade. We have Jesus Espinosa, who we acquired from Boston when we traded Rick Alamo, when I quickly discovered there wouldn't be a place for him on the roster. But everyone else here was already on the team before, including Yvonne Latona, who did some really good yeoman's work. Now, last season, we did not win the World Series, alas. Or did we? I don't think we did, but maybe we did. We did not. We didn't even make the World Series. It's been a while, guys. It's been 7 years since we've won the World Series and 6 years since we've gotten there. So hopefully these moves will make some important changes. But there's one thing I haven't talked about yet, which is our bench. So this is our current bench. We begin with Alex Hilliard, who at the moment is only a backup. except against left-handed pitching because Julian Williams does struggle. That was the other kind of minor change, is that we put Verdine back in center to give him another chance, and we shifted Williams over to right field, where he's going to be a better defender and still contribute the kind of things we need him to contribute. Julian Williams is on somewhat thin ice, though. While his rookie season was great, his follow-up season not so much. He's got to be hitting 300 plus to be a really effective hitter. And so that is something that does concern me a bit. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But let's talk about the other bench guys. We have Glasgow. I keep thinking that's an I. It's actually an L. He's our new backup catcher. He seems like he's a great fit. He's reasonably okay offensively. He's got really good glove and a pretty decent arm. He's a perfect backup catcher. I'm happy to let him fill that role for us, while Julian Farias, at least for now, is the starter. I do think Farias is... catcher is the one spot that we kind of struggled from basically since we traded Joe. But even Joe was slipping those last couple of seasons. I see no reason why he can't be a better player. But for right now, Farias does cause me some concern. We have Dwayne Bell, who we acquired from Seattle and got some reps when Pagan got hurt. When Soto got hurt, excuse me. He's just a nice power bat off the bench. And a really good defensive first baseman. So that is one option available to us. Orlando Morales is covering all the positions right now. I'm okay with that. Again, he's a reasonably good bat, and he's a high character guy. I didn't necessarily plan that when I was making these choices, but that is how it's worked out, and I'm pretty happy about that. And lastly, we have Chase Hubert. Mr. Hubert was our free agent acquisition, and he's basically here to be a big-time bat off the bench and fill in if somebody gets hurt. And that's what we got today, friends. This is the opening day lineup of the Pittsburgh Pirates. A lot of familiar faces. Tony Sanders was the other big offseason trade. I decided I need to upgrade a shortstop and third base, and we did both. Mr. Sanders cost me Thomas Mitterwallner. Again, might be a solid pitcher. I needed a premium shortstop, and that's exactly what I got. So I'm really happy with him. We basically overhauled much of our infield, and I think it's going to pay big dividends quite soon. His arm strength is a bit on the weak side. I might someday move him to second if I can find a more reliable shortstop. But honestly, for right now, I'm really happy with this lineup. We've got a lot more danger in the lineup, almost from top to bottom. If you remember, last couple of seasons, we've almost had automatic outs toward the bottom of it. Even Farias, who is our weakest hitter right now, is still somebody that could make some noise if we needed him to. With that said, my friends, I think it's time to go ahead and actually play some baseball games. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next month. I just saw the symmetry, by the way, that the AL West and NL Central both have two teams in Texas. That's pretty crazy. You know, I'm kind of surprised that El Paso got a team before San Antonio, but whatever. Chase Hubert's being a piece of shit. Thanks, buddy. It's not happening. You're not here to be a starter. So don't complain. Or I'll have my goon stab you in the throat. I don't have Goon. And we're at 500. And fine. Cincinnati's off to a major league start. Get it? Get it? But I'm not that annoyed by that. Holy shit. 300 homers for Kanagiani? I'm surprised he's still getting jobs. Good job, mate. Good job. I'm proud of you. As predicted, Tinch is starting to lose some of his heat. I'm hoping to squeeze one more season out of him as the closer. Potentially. No big changes here. Man, Velo is putting in the work. Very appreciated. Ian Ham. Alright. Good stuff. So let's talk about Tinch. What kind of contract does he have? The best kind. The kind where I can get out of it. I'm a little unhappy that he's melted down this quickly. But I'm not at all going to do anything with it yet. It's too new into the season. I'm not going to mess with it. But I am going to opt out of his contract. So we're going to need a new closer next season already. Possibly as soon as this season, if he melts down. I'm just going to keep going, though. Stats at this point in the season don't really matter. Like, I know at the end of the year they count the same, but it's not useful for evaluating your team. We can have Alex Nunez off the IL if we want him. I don't think we want him at all. Because Mr. Nunez here is mostly a power bat who can kind of play the infield. I don't think that's as valuable as I used to think it was. So I'm going to take you, my guy, and we're going to flip you for a prospect. I'm not too picky about what we get. I just don't think that you in particular offer me anything special. So let's talk about Dave Sickles. Meh. Oh, excuse me. He is a defense-only catcher. Not defense first, defense only. I don't really think that does much for me. We have Chris Yost. No. Omari Davidson. Like, he's just a junk baller who throws a little bit harder than the average junk baller. But look how long he's been in the league. Like, as much as I don't want Nunez, I guess I'll take him. But there is not a lot here to get excited about. Yeah, I guess he's the best player. We'll take him. There we go. Not really a World Series winning move one way or the other, but it's fine. Okay. We're accelerating the Mike Tinch leaves the Pirates timeline. So now we have an interesting dilemma. Who becomes the new closer? And most importantly, where do we get a new reliever? Is there anyone ready for bullpen work in the high minors? Not really. I've been so focused on starting pitching the last couple of seasons that I've kind of let relievers go hang a little bit. But I'm not going to call up, say, Michael Broadwater just to throw the occasional inning in relief. If I'm calling him up, it's because I want him to pitch every day. Alright. What do we have on the waiver wire or in free agency? I want pitchers, please. Eh. Nothing there. Let's check the trading block. Why is Oakland trying to get rid of Danny Gomez? Like, what a weird decision to make. I'll frickin' take him, but I don't really have a need for him at the moment. I could get behind an Ivan Gordini. Like, I know he wants to be a starter, but I bet he could be a really, really good reliever. Oh, look at his bullshit, though. He's purely a soft tosser. I don't know if I trust that. Get Patrick Bronner. Like, let's check free agency too. Danny Butler is a side-arming right-hander with really good control, 3 decent pitches, and a little bit of stuff. I don't hate that, actually. Like, I know he's an injury risk, but this is merely getting a warm body to fill the bullpen out. And I don't mind that at all. So let's go ahead and offer him a 1-year deal. In the meantime, who becomes the closer? That's a really good question. So let's break down our current relievers and figure out who we think would be the best choice. So I always like to sort by stuff. I think stuff is an important thing for a good closer to have. So the best pure pitcher on this roster in terms of no major flaws is Justin Tufts. Tufty here has reasonably good stuff, but also has good control and good movement. That makes him the obvious choice to be the closer. If I want to go strikeout heavy, Fuji and Julian are kind of the same pitcher. So I'm not really going to choose between the two of them. Yeah, they're really the same pitcher. Which is great, actually. The only difference is Fuji could potentially go multiple innings if we needed him. And Julian's got a little bit of a better actual statistical track record. But I don't think I'm going to belabor this point anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and make Tufts the closer. And I'm going to I'm just going to the rest of the bullpen as is. I don't have enough innings to make any kind of real statistical determination about how good any of these guys actually are. This is based on their talent level. So that's going to be the new pitching scenario. If we get that new guy, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Excellent. We get Danny Buller, we do middle relief, and just let him loose. Do what you want, buddy. I believe that you. Oh, that's right. Whenever he starts, Alex Hilliard also DHs. So our DH, John Navio will be playing quite as much as a normal DH would. Losing for Dean hurts, not just because his wrist got bruised, but because I don't think I have a good center field option. If we go to our... No, it's under player development. I knew that. Front office, player development. Our best center fielder is Chris Melgar. Oh, he's in the National Complex. Okay, then Elijah Jackson. I'll make my own choices, yo. Okay. So who's our next man up in center field? I could push Williams back there. I don't love that idea, though. I tried that last year, and it didn't work out so well. I kind of want Elijah Jackson to get a bit more playing time in the high minors before I push him into a major league role. Alright, Jesus Lopez, awful center fielder. Rogelio Aguinaga, can't play center at all. Travis Smith, nope. Daniel Salcedo can play center. And he is reasonably okay offensively. Like, I guess he can draw walks. I probably need a new center field prospect, and I'm going to deal with that here in a second. But for now, I'm going to put Verdine on the IL, and we're going to call up Salcedo. And Salcedo's just going to slot right in where what's-his-face did. Verdine. Already forgotten. Let's now quickly take a moment, because I have so many corner outfield prospects in the high minors. Let's see what might be available to us in a center fielder. Freddie Suarez, for all of his defensive talents, which are considerable. No, I'm going to keep him. If somebody gets hurt, he's a really useful piece. You got 2 starting pitchers and a catcher. I'm not giving up any of these 3. Roberson's got a better than average chance at getting a catching job in the near future here. Okay, Alex Moreno, I think, is a reasonably high-level prospect who I don't plan on keeping. So let's go ahead and move on from Mr. Moreno. And I would like to see all of your finest fielders of the center variety. I can't even get a player that's in the green. Oh, here's one. Alvaro Huerta. I'll take a look at him in a second. You cannot play center field. I don't know what lies you're trying to feed me, but you can't. You know what? This is the wrong avenue. Let's go to find a player. Okay, find a player, hitters. I would like an overall of at least 50. Play center field. And I want defense of at least 60. I don't care about any of the rest of this. This is what I care about. Good defense and a good overall player. Let's plug that in here. There are some fairly good choices here, but all of them are probably going to be quite expensive. Like, let's just kick the tires on Andres Hernandez. If I offered you... where do you go? If I offered you Alex Moreno... Nothing happens there. Okay. What if I threw in Xavier Roberson? Also no. Okay. So this isn't doing anything. So we're kind of wasting our time here. No, I bet if we trade for someone that's got a bigger contract, we've got a better chance. Okay, Alex Posada is my new favorite. Like, I bet you'd like some salary relief. And you're also still really, really young. Interesting. Okay. That was fucking cruel, game. That was mean. Making me think I'd have choices, and it turns out that it's nobody. I'd probably have to give you someone genuinely good. Let's try Hector Medina. And I'll offer you Jose Lacayo. Yeah. It turns out having a clock-controlled center fielder who's amazing is not a good deal for people. Who knew? Let's click on here, find a player. That's a loud garbage truck. I don't trust Leyva. I can't trust this. His offensive profile is fairly limited. He's already fragile. Yeah, I'm looking for an everyday center fielder, not just a really good one. Bill Rivard. I don't think so. Maybe. Jose Sanchez. Good center fielder, good power, relatively short contract. Fragile, though. I can't trade for him. Look, a guy like Rivard is pretty solid. I'm a little concerned about the contract, though. But let's see. Oh, Rivard also is normal for injured pronus. Let's see if there's anything here. Let's start with Medina, Roberson, and Alex Moreno. Absolutely not. Okay, so very clearly my demands are too high. I'm not going to be able to get an elite center fielder, which makes perfect sense. So I feel better about just keeping Salcedo for right now. And just trying to upgrade marginally. Are there any center fielders here? You know what, Ruben Del Cid? I will offer you a minor league deal. That's the kind of guy I am. I will also have... I do just want to trade some of these prospects just to clear out some room. Let's start with Hector Medina. and Xavier Roberson. Both of them are very similar players. Roberson is a bit more polished. If I decide Farias isn't going to work out, I'd probably call up Roberson first. Medina's got a little bit more offensive upside, but in either case, I feel pretty good about those catchers. They have something to offer us. Moreno is the most expendable asset that I have. I'm not going to need a first baseman for a while. And when he fully develops, he's going to mostly be an average guy. And those tend to be very volatile. Let's go and flip Mr. Moreno. I just want the very best prospect I can get my hands on at any position whatsoever. At every position. I saw a reliever that was green. I see a second reliever that's green. I see a third reliever that's green. Alright. Or maybe I get a prospect package. Why not? Let's give it the old college try. Hi there, Jonathan Ortega. What is your deal? You are greener than goose shit, if you'll forgive the idiom. But you've got a huge amount of upside here. Let's do it. I feel pretty good about that. Let's keep going. Abishan needs some rest. That's fine. I mean, I don't know if I agree with Bill Vac the base play it. But then I'd probably, like, let's say I wake up in the morning and I decide to pick a random sport to put on TV. I would almost certainly, and assume that the teams are random, like I don't get to pick the teams. I would probably pick hockey or football before baseball. Just because when baseball's at its best, it's the most engaging sport on TV, in my opinion. But the problem is baseball isn't always at its best. An average hockey game, to me, is more exciting than the average baseball game. Now, the average football game, if it's college football, those games tend not to be super low scoring, so they still tend to be fairly exciting no matter which teams you pick. I mean, obviously, you get teams like the one Big 12 game shit. It was like Iowa and Northwestern. It ended up like 12-9. Like, I like defense as much as the next guy. I don't like defense that much. I do not like defense that much. But yeah, if you told me pick a sport, but the teams are random, I'm gonna pick hockey, or maybe college football, or occasionally pro football over baseball. Now, if you say you get to pick your favorite team, or you get to pick which teams are playing, then I'm more likely to choose baseball. I think I'd still pick hockey, though. I think hockey's my favorite sport to actually watch on television. Baseball, I think, is best on the radio. Alright. So what do we have here? Tufts got better at everything, but somehow got worse. Cool. Salgado is improving. That's great to see. Juan Love is slipping slightly, but there's still nothing wrong with that. Fujii is getting better. Abishan is declining slightly. Bella's getting better. Morales is improving. Sanders is getting a tiny bit worse. David Kovarubius is throwing harder. That's always good news. Leo Campos is improving a little bit. That's very solid. Michael Broadwater. He's putting in the work. He's getting better across the board. That's very good news. Manny Castillo. Loquin Katina is getting better. Still very, very far away from the major leagues, but he's starting to push the issue. If he can get that god-awful movement improved, he might have a chance at getting some meaningful innings. Josh Brown is throwing much harder. Doesn't really move the needle on his status as a prospect, though. Okay. That's cool. So we are presently third in the NL Central. And we're only 3 games out, though. Still very much a winnable division. We're on a nice little hot streak of 6 games. Let's look and see who's doing well, who's doing not so well. The lineup is interesting. I'm happy about the top 4. But John Navio is really struggling again. This is a man who won Rookie of the Year just 2 years ago, and he's just not hitting. Look, I don't get it. I don't get what's happened to Navio. I don't know that I have a better option right now, but I hope this straightens out real damn fast. Because I can't go through another season where my designated hitter just doesn't hit. Almaquer is off to a bit of a slow start. That's fine. He'll get his 2 to 3 wins anyway, so I'm not worried about that. Farias at least is hitting homers, which is more than I expected, but we might be replacing with one of the youngsters real fast. I'm going to give you 1 more month to figure out your shit, but then you're probably gone. Rotation looks really good, except for Salgado. What is Salgado's issue? Salgado is coughing up the homers, which is not something I anticipated from his abilities. I bet this is going to change, and we're going to see a much better pitcher as a result. Bullpen at the back end looks really strong. At the front part looks pretty strong. It gets weaker, but they don't have very many innings, so I'm not really going to worry about that. Our defense is apparently garbage. Who is screwing LePooch? Henry Salgado is a really terrible left fielder. I guess Navio is marginally better. Let's make that switcheroo right now because Salgado is clearly the worst defender on the team. Yeah. Interesting. Maybe I won't... Like, Navio doesn't have the same arm is the issue. I probably need a new everyday left fielder and then bumped Salgado to designated hitter. I could just play Hilliard in left field. I don't know that I necessarily want his bat every day, and I think he's too valuable to us as a starting pitcher, but that's one possibility for the future. It said efficiency was bad, and yeah, Salgado is pretty terrible out in the field. It's because the man has no range. Okay. Let's do this. Maybe this also jumpstart Navio. Maybe he's bored. Maybe he needs to play the field to be at his very best. This also means Salgado gets a regular break whenever Hilliard starts, as long as he's not playing right field, and that's pretty solid. How many at-bats do you have so far? You have 114. You're not playing at a huge level, but you're hitting lots of homers, so I will let that go. And let's go ahead now and advance a bit more time and see where we're at the beginning of July. Okay, Abishan is starting to worry me. He seems to consistently have those nagging injuries, which are not a great sign. Okay, we can get Verdine back. Do we want him back? Yeah, probably. Salcedo's not that great. Yeah. That's fine. Verdine slots right back in. Okay, we could get Mike Tinch back. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's my plan. Buller, you're gone. Thanks for playing. Tinch is back. Yeah, I'm going to give Tinch the closer role back. I'm sorry, he's just that much better. He's still got that big strikeout rate, and I still think he gives us the best chance to win this season for now. He's also 100% gone, by the way. Oh. The A's won the lottery. Good for them. Yeah, he's 100% not coming back. I'm not going to pay big money for a pitcher that's injured and no longer elite. Alright, we can get Jeremy Werner back. Now, Werner could be an elite reliever at this point. But I think that's an awful lot of money for that. I'm going to go ahead and put him on the... I'm going to let him rehab in the minors. And we'll see where he's at in the future. Okay. He is very happy about me. Of course he is. Okay. Let's make some decisions. Some coaching decisions. The coaching staff is fine. I'm going to keep my assistant GM. I just frankly don't care that much about what the assistant GM has to offer. He can have an extension as a treat. Craig Barnes is a really good pitching coach. And look how much he's shaved off of an ERA. I think he has earned himself a couple more years to do the job. Mike Navarrete is an exceptional hitting coach. I think he's been with us for a while now, right? Let's go ahead and give him a bit more security. But Dan Armstrong, like, you're fine, but I would like to try to promote some managers, and a guy like a Solomon McGuire seems like a much better fit than you. So I think we're going to go ahead and let Mr. Armstrong walk. I'm going to offer all the minor league coaches an extension. Wow, only one of them agreed. Okay. To make you a promise, if you sign and don't retire, I will give you the third base coaching job. Gene Kelly is awesome. I don't want to lose him. Juan Sosa might be an even better manager at some point. Definitely promoting him. Yes, please. I just don't want to re-sign somebody who isn't that great a coach that I could replace with. Yeah, outstanding at teaching pitching means you get to keep your job. But yeah, if there's like a place where re-signing a guy blocks somebody who might be even better, I kind of think of letting Sam Baltz go just because I know I've got some really talented pitching coaches. In like, oh wow, wait, what? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong position. Ken Stewart's nothing to write home about. Neither is Leo Marrero. Neither is Agustin Bernal. So I guess I'm full of it, and I should just keep Baltz. Oh, Baltz is a hitting coach, right? Yeah, I've got some really good hitting coaches / managers in the lower levels, and I think I'm going to go ahead and let you walk. Mr. Ken Stewart is... Man, I gotta be able to do better than Ken Stewart. Like, Ken Stewart isn't anything thrilling. I will re-sign Duplantis and Bernal, though. Okay, so the big change at the Major League roster, honestly, I might just promote Juan Sosa. Like, as much as Solomon McGuire has been here for a long time and probably deserves a promotion, the truth of the matter is that Juan Sosa is fucking incredible. And I want him deep into this coaching staff. Because he might be my next bench coach whenever Christian James retires. Okay, so that stuff's all dealt with. Nate Sinclair is fucking bringing it this year. We rank 15th, mostly because of Michael Broadwater, but I'll take it. I will take it. I don't know if that's how the team played in 1916. Thank you for that amazing fact developments. Truly inspired. Okay. That's a bad Orlando Palacios. Hector Medina is getting better defensively. I guess that's good. All right. Let us begin, before I look at the Major League team at all, and possibly cry, with some international amateurs. I desperately want a center field prospect. And it doesn't look like there are any of any note. Great. I mean, John Lujan is obviously the best choice here. I don't think we'll get him, but we'll worry about that here in a second. John Navio is marginally better. Marginally. And that really concerns me. That maybe he's just like the new Joe Charbonneau. Like, I don't get what his deal is. I don't know why all of a sudden he can't hit. But right now he is the definition of replacement level. And I've got loads of corner outfielders that I can either acquire or promote from the minors and give them an opportunity. Like, you've now given me 1 season of elite offensive performance and 2 with nothing. And as much as it pains me, I can't carry a millstone like this in the center of my lineup. I just can't. So we're going to trade him. Maybe not trade him. Might just send him to the minors to see if he can figure out his shit. So that's step 1. You go to the minors. Manny Castillo is probably my choice if I do end up calling somebody up instead of trading. But I'd like to get a permanent solution in left field if I can find one. So who's on the trading block that plays in the outfield? No to Joe Curry. It's our old friend Jorge. Oh no, this is a different guy. This is not my player. It's someone else's player. I would absolutely trade for Jorge Munoz if I could legally do so, but I can't. Okay, so there are no really good left fielders on the trading block. So what we're going to do is we're going to promote Manny Castillo and just have him play left field. I guess I could also put St. Hubert in at left field. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's do that. And then we can let... oh, do you have a hole in your swing, Mr. St. Hubert? Yeah, you really don't like hitting against left-handed pitching. Like, at all. And Castillo doesn't either. Okay, so Castillo goes back to the minors. I guess we could keep Navio and just let him play left field against left-handed pitching. Like, are you still doing well in your splits? Not really. That's frustrating. You know what, Jonathan Baker? You're in. And you're going to play left field against righties. Or lefties, rather. And I'll let Morales play a bit higher in the order there. And that's fine. Generate me some new depth charts, please. Can Hilliard actually play center? He can't. Don't be stupid, game. I beg you. Starter tired every 7 games. Actually, Farias, you still are struggling badly. So guess what? You're done. Roberson is a lot more polished than Medina, so we're going to call up Roberson. And you're my new everyday catcher. There we go. I wonder if anybody would take Navio if I traded him. Like, surely with this kind of stat line in his youth, I have some chance at salvaging something. I could just leave him in the minors though to figure out his shit, but he's really struggling badly. What's on the table if I trade Mr. Navio? Tempting, but no. Especially now with him just getting a giant new contract. I think that's a bad idea. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm getting huge numbers of interesting offers. Let's thin things out a little bit, and let's reduce it to only prospects and regulars. That should make this list a little bit more manageable. Okay. Yeah, you're terrible. I don't know why anybody would pay you that much money, but I will not be partaking. Alright. Let's focus on batters, please. Because I think offense is where we need the most help. I'm going to focus on the greens. Okay, Nestor Rios. Rios is a really good hitter. I like him a lot. But he's also a terrible second baseman. If I was looking for a new Almaguer, I think this is where I'd look. But that gap power, though. No, eyes on the prize. If I'm going to get a player, I want somebody that is pretty high level. I don't need a defense-only shortstop, but thanks for playing. Now, Jordan Falcon here seems like a really great choice. If not for the fact that he's so far off where I'd want him to be. But he's basically an excellent leadoff type. I don't hate the idea of getting Falcon, but I'd want something else in addition to it. If I could get Rios and Falcon. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bother acquiring Rios because I wouldn't put him anywhere. I could just acquire Falcon and then just take a look and see what else they have. Like, who else do you have prospect-wise that's interesting? I'll trade for Alex Medina. I will not hesitate to take a picture of that caliber and offer him an important role in my bullpen. But I'm not giving you Broadwater or love for that. It's about the give and take, I get that. But I'm not going to take that. Jose Lacayo is only ever going to be a bat. I really like Katina, but I don't like him as much as getting an elite reliever and an outfielder that's pretty solid. And throw in Juan Gonzalez if you don't mind. Really? Okay. What if I dropped Navio? No, they really want Navio. Okay, that's fair. Wow, alright. We're getting a little bit hosed here. Now, Falcone works out the way we hope he will. That's going to be amazing. But this is really about getting Medina. A really talented young pitcher. I think he's got an incredibly bright future. So we're going to make this trade right now. I might live to regret this trade. I genuinely might regret it in a few years. Right now, I think I'm making the right call. Okay, so next question is which reliever... Actually, I'm just sending Medina to the minors right now. I will put you on the 40-man. No, Medina is too good to be in the minors. Who is pitching the worst of my current relievers? It's Manny Osorio. It seems like it's always Manny Osorio, though. Right? Like, he gave me, like, one really solid year, and he's been, like, coasting off of that ever since. And he won't take a demotion. Osorio, I'm going to trade you. For all players, really. Any interesting prospects? I mean, Dave McTavish is an all-star name, and he's a really good pitcher. I see no reason not to take him. But let's not jump at the first offer. There could be somebody elite here that I'm just passing up. I like Orozco. I don't need him, though. If you had caught me a couple years ago, I might have done it. I thought his name was Peace Warford. It's Pierce. That's significantly more disappointing. That does sadden me. With what might have been. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to take Mr. McTavish. Wow. I get the fans liking John Navio, who was a huge part of our future just a couple seasons ago, but this guy ain't anything special. But I guess he was a Pirate for a long time. Okay. Any other wheeling and or dealing that I wish to do today? I don't think so. Salgado and Broadwater are basically the same pitcher. I'd rather let them both mature where they are rather than shove them around in every different direction. We're definitely, by the way, going to be in the market for a true left fielder. Unless Hubert kills it, which he might or might not. But let's see how he does in this scenario. I guess this is one way for Hector Medina to get into the big leagues. Yeah, sure. And then Medina backs up and in the big leagues. Boom. Let's get it done. Hey, very nice. Shortlist the fuck out of him. Alright, friends, let's get ourselves some talented youngsters. I desperately want a center fielder. I think that's probably the most important thing. Damn, look at the A's. They had the number 16 original pick and ended up picking first overall. That's wild, guys. That's super wild. Like, the A's weren't that bad last year, were they? Like, I want to say the A's made the... Yeah, the A's finished 84 and 78 last year and ended up getting 80 and 82, got the first overall pick. Good for them. Wish I could get the first overall pick, but that'll never happen. I'll never let the team get bad enough for that. Not even gonna look. All players. Alright. I really want a high-level center field prospect, especially if they can handle center. Brian Miller is not that guy. Brian Miller is going to be at best an average center fielder. I need more than that. Okay, so I'm not going to get a center fielder. That's fine. Actually, let's do center field defense. Oh, yeah. To get a good defense center fielder, I'm going to be picking quite late. That's fine. I'll remove the filter, please. So, I could also just use an elite hitter, no matter what field they play in. Let's look at Brian Miller. He's got a really good corner outfield game. Good contact, gap power. He's just a great overall hitter. Can we do better? And do we prefer a starting pitcher? Now that is an interesting idea. Hector Romero is gigantic. Huge is a great nickname. Fastball, sinker, curveball. A reasonably good changeup. Oh my. I think he's too good. I don't think I can pass up on this. Like, he's not just a good pitcher, he's a possible ace. And I think I have to do that. I don't think I can let that go. Alright, now I want the best hitter I can find. Even if he ends up getting moved to the outfield, which is fine. Juan Mendez is a really good hitter. But he doesn't have a position at all. Like, he's a DH and nothing else. I need some positional flexibility. You can play anywhere in the infield. I mean, you wouldn't be a great outfielder, but you're a very solid hitter who can play literally anywhere in the infield. So you're the worst you could do is mega utility guy. For a second round draft pick, that's hard to argue with. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink this. Edwin Alcorta, you're in. Welcome to the Pirates organization. Isaiah Holiday. Another biggin. Good stuff, decent movement and control. Cutter, curveball, changeup. So you don't even have a straight fastball. That's really interesting. Plus, you know he's smart because he's committed to Stanford. Isaiah Holiday joined the Pirates. I will always throw in on an interesting looking catcher. Alright. Juan Cordova. Very talented hitter, reasonably good outfielder. You're in. You're not a catcher, but you're the kind of intriguing player that could have a good career as a DH. Let's actually check batting ratings. Who's the best contact hitter? Sorry, not batting ratings. What, you already have? Yes, please. I'll take you in the 6th round. I meant to put batting potential, but... Oh, you're very limited. Okay. I think I like Bobby Vargas the best. He's got the best mix of hitting tools that I feel reasonably likely will work out. I will take Luis Valle. He keeps slipping. His salary demands are pretty reasonable. I will also draft Manny Flores. Oh, no one is impossible if I don't want them to be impossible, but I don't want him anyway. This is a bit too much of a risk. Yes, there is elite potential here, mostly because of this. Because of his size, I don't expect him to be throwing that softly for that long. But he doesn't have a breaking pitch, and that concerns me. You're a very uncomplicated pitcher. I respect that. You're in. Scouting director, you've earned my trust. Go ahead and scout the rest of the draft as you see fit. Alright, Hector Romero. 10 million is incredibly reasonable. I'll just hand it to you. In a big bag with a $sign on it, because I don't even fucking care. Because it's not my money. There we go. Had to slightly adjust my microphone there. Okay. Alright, so that's that done. Romero is on my short list. So is Alcorta. So is Holiday. The rest of these guys here, like, I want them to be successful, but I don't consider that to make or break this draft. Hector Romero could be the best draft pick I've made in a very long time. He's raw as fuck, but if, and I mean if he can build on his incredible talent level, and he's very smart, I have high hopes. His work ethic isn't great, and that does concern me. But we'll see what happens. Alright. Let us take a look, amigos. 400 homers for Salgado. Nice. And a cycle for Orlando Palacios. Very nice. Man, Nate Sinclair has lost his damn mind today, and I love this season, and I love it. Like, he's just striking fools out like it's not even a thing for him. Like, he's had multiple 15 to 17 strikeout games this season, so I'm really excited about that. Who made the All-Star team? Juan Love made it, as did Sinclair, as did Latona. 3 pitchers and no hitters. 4 pitchers and no hitters. In all honesty, I'm okay with that. None of my position players is playing at an elite level right now, so I can live with that. How many prospects made it? Broadwater did. That's it from Pitt. Yeah, I am perfectly content with this mediocre lineup not having anybody make it. I don't know how we score as many runs as we do, but we do. And I'm okay with that, to be honest with you. I can make that work. Alright. It's weird how development is in cycles, right? Like, there was a point in the not too distant past where I was basically printing major league hitters of an elite level, and now I'm struggling with that, but I'm able to make pitchers. So that's kind of fun. Oh my gosh, what a big morning for sneezing. Right. I gotta be honest with you. There is some interest in making him into a relief pitcher. But I don't think there's enough interest. I think he's already passed us by, and I'd rather keep pitching Salgado than pitch Werner. So I think we're gonna go ahead and try to flip him. For literally anything. And I will eat the 50% of his salary that hasn't been eaten yet. So I can get a decent prospect. I don't mind that. I've got more than enough salary. So if I can get... You know what, Nelson Orozco? I passed you up once before. I see no reason to do so again. No. Yeah, I'll take Orozco. I know Orozco does have to go on the 40-man, and he will. Yeah, a bat of this caliber will play wherever I want to play him. Like, he's not good enough to be a left fielder. I mean, I guess I could play him instead of Baker. No, you know what? Let's trade Dwayne Bell and let him fill potentially both spots. What could I get for Mr. Bell here? Excuse me. I don't really want to take up another spot on the 40-man with a pitcher I don't even think is going to make it. I'll take Hector Gutierrez. I need a good defensive center fielder. Alright, so now Orozco gets to go to the bigs. And he's just going to slot right in there as an elite bench piece for right now. I don't want Hilliard playing the field every day. I need you to end that particular idea. Cease. You're playing really well this year, Morales. I like it. I love having depth on the bench. It makes me happy. So yeah, Orozco is just going to be kind of an everyday mega bench star to start out with. With the idea that if Pagan starts to slip, that he takes over from him. I am overpaying the shit out of you, but that's fine. We can't have everything. Damn, nice job, Gernot Baumschlager. More like bomb launcher, am I right? Okay, we can have Josko back. I kind of would prefer that Medina play every day in the minors versus just backing up in the majors, so I think that's a very reasonable thing to do. I want Roberson playing as much as possible. I'm not even going to automatically start Glasgow. It's going to be if Roberson is tired, then Glasgow plays. Let us proceed forward. You would offer me the one, the only Luis Davila. Okay, Davila has some real talent here. He is fragile, but there's a lot to like about him. You're asking for Avishon. And here's my thing. He's had so many nagging injuries that I don't think replacing him is a problem. Here is my issue with Davila, however. If he is going to constantly be hurt, that's a real problem. I'm giving up a pretty solid asset for not a huge amount in return. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to drop Abishan from the deal, and we're going to see if he'll take something else. Okay. You won't even take Avishon now. That's interesting. So let's look at prospects. And let's decide who is the most fungible at this point. Alex Cloud. So he will take Abishan if I force the trade through. Yeah, that doesn't really do much. I don't really want to lose Abishan. But I don't want to let this deal go either. Because Davila gives us a dynamic offensive force that plays really good center field. And yes, he is injury prone. But I don't see how I can pass this up. I don't see how I'm going to do it. I feel reasonably good about that. So now Franklin Verdeen. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with Davila to begin with here. I'm going to put him on the IL. I want him to be fully recovered by the time I'm ready to bring him in. And then I'm going to call up Michael Broadwater. And he's going to take over in the third rotation spot. Mr. Broadwater has made incredible strides in his game this season. If we look at the scouting report here, he's throwing harder. He's pitching more effectively. He's really grown, and I think he's more than ready for the big leagues. A 75 pitch count does seem a bit light, but I'm willing to let that go. So that's what's happening there. And then as soon as he is healthy, we will activate Davila. Alright, is anybody leaving the team that I want to bring back? Or conversely... Okay, I would not mind offering St. Hubert a 1-year deal if he'll take it. I won't guarantee the starting lineup, but I will offer you a 1-year... You really want a guaranteed spot. What if I don't do that, but if you give me at least 400 plate appearances, I give you another 500 grand? No, he wants that starting lineup. Guarantee. You know what? I can just break my word. Done. We're gonna opt out on Tinch. That's a no-brainer. I wouldn't mind trying to lock up Hilliard. But he doesn't want a longer-term deal. That's fair. Mr. Sanders. You haven't hit all that well this year, which does cause me some concern. And because you haven't hit all that well yet, I don't think it's a smart idea to give you a big contract extension. I'll definitely keep you in terms of your arbitration amount, but that's about it. Our Sean Hill nightmare is almost over. Can I lock up Juan Love now? Man, getting him locked up so I don't have to pay him $30 million would be pretty incredible. Alright, here's my offer to you. 7-year deal. And it's going to increase by $2 million every single year. Two years at $11 million, and I'll even give you a player option if you want one. So it'll be a player option here, and a team option here for $5 million. This probably won't work, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's not even close, and that's fine. I'm not gonna push that. If he doesn't want to sign long term, he doesn't want to sign long term. No problem. Justin Tuss is about to get real expensive. But that's fine. Man, Almore just does the same thing every season. He produces 2 to 3 wins at second base. And that's all he does. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I definitely don't want to get locked into a long-term deal when there might be upgrades to be made in the future. So, okay. Nobody here I particularly feel like trading. Maybe Aguinaga. Because I'm not going to keep him anyway. Maybe somebody will give me something for him. I mean, I could get Vinny Diaz, who actually isn't a terrible player. He's right-handed, too. You know what? Why the shit not? Done. And then Baker goes to the minors, and you take Baker's spot. Look, here's the thing. It just gives me options. And I have no problem with that. Nope. Nope. Okay, quit trying to play Hilliard every day. I get it. He hits lots of homers, but there's more to life than home runs. There's a lot more to life than home runs. Okay. Anybody else I feel like trading? Like, I'm not going to get anything for Galvez or for Miller, which is fine. I don't really care. I'm going to put Galvez... No, it's not going to matter because he's trade deadline. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to go ahead and keep going. Do I trade for Dean? No. I can trade him in the offseason. I feel pretty happy about that. I'll just trade him in the offseason because I have him for arbitration and I'm not going to pay him $4 million to sit on the bench. So yeah, I will definitely be trading him in the offseason, I think. Austin, if you could do me a solid and just start... I think we definitely need to be ready to spend a whole lot of money in the offseason if that means we can get an elite outfielder or two. Like, yes, we have some interesting youngsters that might someday be really talented, but for right now, I think we have to be prepared to spend money should that need arise. And everything here looks okay. I don't know what's wrong with Palacios either. Palacios isn't hitting that well. I mean, as long as he's playing really good third base, I don't really mind too much, but could definitely use a bit more offense there. Let's continue. Oh, we did get St. Hubert back for another season. That's fine. I'm willing to give him an opportunity to show what he can do. Okay, Davila is now healthy. Because Verdine is relatively hot, I kind of want Davila to go ahead and rehab. This should hopefully buy us enough time that I can call him up when rosters expand. Or close to it. Like, I can send Verdine to the minors for like 2 days and then call him right back up. John Navia like breaks the major league home run record every season for the next 10 years. Which is it's a possibility for him, right? Like, it is a thing that could happen, it just hasn't yet. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna send down... Yeah, I will send down... No, you can refuse. Okay, you didn't. Thank you for being a team player, Verdine. Oh my gosh, he's injured again. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to put you right back on the IL. I want you to be 100%. You're on the 40 main, so I can still use you in the playoffs, assuming we make it. So I am not going to rush you. I'd appreciate if you'd stop getting fucking hurt, but I guess that's kind of what I should expect. also want to give that extra reliever that we acquired, who's we're going to make a 40-man decision on anyway. I think I want to put him on there too. I can't remember his name all of a sudden, but I will shortly. Okay. Good. Alright, Leo Campos probably needs to be traded. I just don't see it happening right now that he ever makes the major leagues. He's just not throwing strikes. And that's kind of in the job description as a pitcher. Like, I might convert Leo Campos to a reliever, perhaps. But until he starts actually getting better at control, I can't put him in the majors in a meaningful role. Which is unfortunate, because I had really high hopes when we drafted him, and I still think he's got a world of potential. If this doesn't get better, he's going to have issues. Alright, friends. So, where do you go? Dave McTavish. Yes, Mr. McScotland. I would like you to be a middle reliever, please. Cool. And then I'm going to leave. Oh, real quickly. Ian Hamm is the best player that I have that's Rule 5 eligible. There's a fair bit to like here. It's definitely worth a 40-man spot, but we'll have to see what happens. I probably need to do a nice calling here in the off-season and just try to get some people off the 40-man. Oh, dang it, I meant to trade Farias. Oh, well. It'll happen. And we're going to go right the way to the end of the regular season. That. Okay, Davila is fully healthy. I'm going to throw him right into the deep end. I want to see what he can do. Wait, is he literally just a better version of Verdine? No, he's got that gap power. Verdine doesn't have it to the same degree. Yes. Davila, kindly pop in here. Because he's a good on-base guy, I'm going to go ahead and push him up. Like so. And then we're going to bump Palacios to here. I literally did not remember that Orlando Morales is playing against all right-handed pitching. I'd completely forgotten about that. Yeah, because he's way better against righties than he is against lefties. That's fine. And then you're going to come up here, and you're going to come up here. And it's going to be real simple, yo. It's going to be Verdine. Here, actually, just generate me a new depth chart, please. Stop. Yes, that's fine. Like, let me be clear. I'm not benching you because I think you suck. I'm benching you because Davila is a far better center fielder. And he also gets on base really well. And that's something that we could use quite drastically in this lineup right now. I don't remember if there's one buy or two buys, but I don't think we're catching the Mets. I think we're going to catch the Mets. That's fine. That doesn't really bother me all that much. Alright, do we manage 100 wins? Let's find out. We do. 100 victories. Nice. We do not get a bye. That's fine. Let's get the playoff rosters set, though. Who are we leaving off? One second. Sorry about that. I am off today. I don't know why somebody tried to call me. Probably just a goof. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. This is my playoff roster. Wait. I can't leave Verdine off the roster. I can't take the risk. But I have to. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and set the rotation. We're going to go 4 men, and Salgado is going to be the odd man out. And that's fine. I don't mind that. That gives us another option if we need it. I think that's all I'm going to do. I think we will run without without what's-his-face, and then go from there. Alright. And good work, Broadwater. Love it. I mean, of course, Nate Sinclair gets it done. He is the man. 13 strikeouts. You can't argue with that. Alright, Alex Hilliard does get lit up. Right. But I just don't think it would make a lot of sense. And damn, the Padres beat us 3 straight. I mean, fair play. We didn't hit at all in the playoffs. We just quit. I mean, I guess saying we quit isn't fair because we never started hitting this season, but yeah. Another 100 wins, another early bounce out in the playoffs. Gross. So, I'm not hugely surprised. I'm more surprised we won 100 games. But yeah, we an elite offensive of our pitching is. I don't think we were ever going to have a hump. We definitely need to make some big lineup moves. Like Dobbs in center, and I think he'll be reasonably helpful, but I think we need an everyday left fielder and an everyday right field. And we're not developing them at the same rate we used to. I think there was try to make sure we had more pitching. Bats offensively have just not turned out. Oh, anyone interesting here? Not really. Yeah, to tend to any of these guys looks interesting. Funabashi here looks reasonably interesting, but no one else. Hey, I like the Brewers. Whoever wins, they get their full name. It's just a season where the offense didn't pan out. And no matter what the pitching staff was able to accomplish, that's really all that we managed. And that's fine. You're not going to win them all. Okay, easiest two choices in history. Execute the ever-living fuck out of this option, and void the ever-living fuck out of this option. The market has gone up to tiny. Oh my stars. Danny Buehler retires. My bench coach retired. Alright. So here's our plan, coaching-wise. Solomon McGuire is 62 years old. I want him to have the more high profile of the two positions. And Juan Sosa is going to take the other one. He's going to take the third base coach. I think they're both very talented coaches. And this way, I'm in a position where I can start making other choices for the rest of the coaching staff. Okay. Are any of you secretly longing to be a manager? Not you. You're far more valuable where you are right now. Okay, Andy Brashear is more of a flat-out hitting coach, to be honest with you. There's at least one guy who's like really good all around that I hired because I wanted him. Okay, Josh Parrish is a really talented manager. You go all the way up to AAA. Nate Swenson is only a pitching coach. Kevin Steele is thoroughly unremarkable. There's nothing wrong with that. But Danny Patino is one of the guys I was thinking of. Yeah. Danny, I'm going to make you the manager of AA. Altoona. And Kevin Steele, I will promote you to manager for Bradenton. Now, do any of you want a chance to be a manager? Duplantis is pretty much only a hitting coach. I'll go ahead and promote Duplantis. But I want to say that one of you was like really solid all around. Yeah, Augustine Bernal is the guy I was thinking of. You can be the new... Wait, what? Interesting. He won't take... I guess he still considers it lateral. That's frustrating. I was going to give him a chance to be a flippin' manager, but I guess he didn't want it. That's fine. Freddie Vasquez, will you agree to be my new Rookie League manager? Oscar Rodriguez, I'd like you to be my pitching coach. Eric Strong, I'd like you to be my hitting coach. And I'd like Jonathan Diaz to take over the other hitting coach job. Okay. So those have all been offered. We're up to tiny, guys. Wild. Let's talk about arbitration, then we'll review the team, and then we'll end the episode. Alex Hilliard at only $3 million, so he earned 1.8 WAR as a pitcher and 2.5 as a hitter. I mean, if he can keep mini Babe Ruthing it, I see no reason not to give him another extension. Very happy to bring him back. Witten Julian was A, quite effective, and B, very cheap. My favorite combination. So yes, I will bring you back. Ivan Latona is probably, because he's just been so damn effective for us, gonna want a lot more money. I have no issue with giving him $1 million. And then seeing what happens. Almoquer. When he gets up to like 10 million a season, I'm going to consider trading him. But for now, I will give him his 1-year deal. I am not signing you long term, my friend. Not until I'm convinced that you're going to be the future there. Tony Sanders thinks awfully highly of himself. I'll tell you, when you start fucking hitting, then we'll talk. For now, take your 10 million and like it. Okay, Franklin Verdeen wants very little money at this point still, and I don't know how much I can trust Davila, so I'm going to go ahead and offer you your 1-year deal. I think that's more than fair. Yeah, 4 million sounds good. Okay, so you all get one more 1-year deals to bring that back. Mike Tinch. If I offered him the qualifying offer, he would absolutely take it, and I don't want him anymore. I've seen enough from him. I need to move on, so thank you, but no thank you. I wish you well, but you will not be pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates again. Unless, like, free agency comes around and you're like, wow, I can't make any money. $5 million it is. Then I'll think about it, but for now, we'll have to upgrade it closer. So what went well this season? Henry Salgado was fine. I know that seems like damning with faint praise, but it's hard to say that anyone did great. Yeah. When Almoquer is your second best hitter, that's a real problem. Like, he is not all expected to be a big offensive piece of this team. He's meant to be complimentary. And the fact that so many people fell short is really disappointing. Pagan has severely regressed. I don't know why, but he has. Hilliard wasn't even a full-time player. Sanders' value is almost entirely his glove because he decided not to hit this season. Verdeen was a decent hitter. Orlando Morales, the guy already had, might be the better hitter between him and Palacios, which is kind of scary. We got a decent performance on Davila. Williams, yeah. We got to do better offensively. Like, top to bottom, very few people impressed me offensively this season. Xavier Roberson's first season in the majors has been underwhelming, but there's always a chance of more. But yeah, our lineup let down our pitching staff. Point blank, we are badly missing an elite batter in the middle of the lineup to make everybody else better. Whether that comes from Pagan and Salgado heating up again, or what happens, something has to give. Let's talk pitching. We wasted another Cy Young level season from Nate Sinclair, who, again, was out of his mind brilliant. He's losing velocity, but it's not really stopping him, which is very exciting. Juan Love turned in an excellent season for the first time. He was able to pitch as many innings as he liked. We got really great performances from our relievers. And then it really just comes down to the rest of the rotation. Some of our relievers weren't that great. Like, Julien did kind of struggle there, but we can see what happens there. But yeah, our pitching staff was phenomenal. We got great performances pretty much up and down. The bullpen and rotation. I mean, Julien was... His problem will always be the fact he walks people. I think I'm going to start stepping back on his role and letting Latona take an even bigger role than he has now. But this is where we find ourselves, my friends. We had an underwhelming postseason and a pretty good regular season. Let's not miss that, but a pretty underwhelming regular season. Or postseason, rather. And that has to start with the offense. Because I think the rotation with a full year out of Broadwater, Hilliard, Love, Sinclair, and Salgado, or whoever else gets that fifth starter spot, is going to be perfectly fine. I am not concerned about the rotation. I'm concerned about the lineup. So we're going to need a new closer, whether that's Justin Tufts or whether that's giving or bringing in a free agent. I'm not sure yet. And we're really going to need a dramatic overhaul in the outfield. Like, Julian Williams was mediocre at best. Hubert was okay in left, but again, hardly impressive. And I need somebody that can consistently hit 40-plus homers. I just have to have that. So, lots to work on for next episode, but that should make for an entertaining one. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. Welcome back. If you were missing me during the break, I miss you guys too. And until next time, this has been Av Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good